September has recently begun, which means it's time for the fall and winter movie-going season with plenty to look forward to, from big blockbusters, horror films I'm really excited for, and potential awards contenders. And I'm here to give you my list of my 10 most anticipated movies for the remainder of 2025. And I'm excited to hear your most anticipated films for the rest of 2025. Do you have a top 10, top 5? What's your number one pick? Let me know in the comments below. And before we get on to the list, I have 9 honorable mentions. I'll go through those rapid fire. Starting with A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, The Long Walk, which I can't wait to see this weekend, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, Predator, Badlands, Rental Family, a wholesome feel-good drama with Brendan Fraser, count me in. Him, which I can't wait for next week, Hamnet, Begonia, and last honorable mention, Shelby Oaks, Chris Stuckman's directorial debut that I can't wait to see. And with those honorable mentions out of the way, let's get into the top 10 list. Coming in at number 10 is Zootopia 2. I love the first Zootopia. This is my favorite of the Disney Revival era films and my pick for the best animated film of 2016. I absolutely love the world building of Zootopia. This movie is hilarious. And I love the endearing duo of Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps. And most of all, I love the themes on prejudice, using animals, a predator, or prey to tell those themes. And if there was ever one Disney sequel I absolutely wanted, it would definitely be this one, because I feel like there's so much potential with the setting, what to expand upon, and I would love to see Nick and Judy solve another case. Now, 9 years later, to which I can't believe Zootopia is about to be a decade old next year, it definitely seems to indicate everything I'm hoping for in a Zootopia sequel. With Judy and Nick back together to solve another case, this time involving a snake named Gary, voiced by Ke Huy Quan. The animation looks beautiful, just like the first. It looks very funny. There were so many times I laughed throughout the trailer. I do love it expanding the characters, introducing reptiles, and there does seem to be a mysterious figure in the trailer. Curious to see who that is. I have been underwhelmed with past Disney animated sequels such as Ralph Breaks the Internet, Frozen 2, and especially Moana 2. So I really hope with the original film's directors back for the sequel, I really hope it's in good hands. And this year has been kind of weak for animation so far. I did like Bad Guys 2. I thought K-Pop Demon Hunters was awesome. Could this give it a run for its money for the best animated film of 2025? We shall see. Coming in at number 9 is Black Phone 2. I love The Black Phone. I thought it was intense, gripping, and atmospheric horror movie from Scott Derrickson, and it would be my second favorite horror film of 2022 behind Barbarian. This movie just had me on edge throughout, and Ethan Hawke as the Grabber was terrifying. I just did not expect a horror villain performance like that from a terrific actor like Ethan Hawke, and he knocked it out of the park. But with that first film's ending, I thought it was a satisfying ending. Thought, okay, it's a standalone movie. There's no more to tell after that. Which is why I was initially skeptical when a sequel was announced. I was like, okay, a sequel is happening. Curious to see a trailer and more of the story and what they're doing. And now that I've seen the trailer, my skepticism is starting to fade. It's like the first film with that ending. You thought the story was over, but it's actually not. And this looks like a great horror sequel to continue the story. And I'm loving the winter vibe, different from the first movie. And the Grabber returning from the dead like a supernatural threat like Freddy Krueger. That's awesome. It's like a revenge story, and he is out to kill Gwen for revenge against Finney. I am so happy Scott Derrickson is back directing this sequel. I love what he did with the first film. And 3 years later, Ethan Hawke still looks terrifying as the Grabber. I think he's going to knock it out of the park yet again. And I do like seeing Finney and Gwen that are a little older, and how they're adjusting to life after the events of the first film. And Mason Thames is still proving to be a talented young actor, not just with The Black Phone, but I also thought he did a really good job as Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon recently. This looks bigger, scarier, and more intense than the first movie. It's not often that horror sequels live up to the first film. There are some that can be better than the first film, or some that just don't live up to that first film's greatness. I hope with The Black Phone 2, that's not the latter. And I'm definitely excited to see a horror film like this in middle of October, just in time for Halloween. Coming in at number 8 is Wicked for Good. I loved Wicked. This was a joyous and delightful stage-to-film adaptation of the beloved musical, and Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were magnificent as both Elphaba and Glenda. And I thought John M. Chu was the perfect director to adapt Wicked to the big screen. And with the cliffhanger ending to Wicked, it did pave the way for an interesting concept for the sequel, and with the trailer for Wicked for Good, it looks terrific. I can't wait to see how both the story continues and concludes, and hope it's a great musical finale. The cast still looks fantastic, from Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, and from returning actors Jonathan Bailey, Michelle Yeoh, and Jeff Goldblum. And just like the first film, with the sets and costumes both look extravagant and magnificent. The songs sound great in the trailer. And I also heard we're getting new songs from Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Can't wait to hear those. With how much I love the first Wicked, there is so much I'm excited for, in for good, and I doubt this will be a disappointment. Could it be better than the first, or just as good? We'll see. Coming in at number 7 is The Running Man. Edgar Wright is one of my favorite directors. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is my personal favorite of his. I also love the Cornetto trilogy. Baby Driver, Last Night in Soho I thought was underrated. Any new project he is doing, I'm automatically excited. Now I'm excited to see how he would do a remake of a 1980s Arnold Schwarzenegger film that I have never seen. Just hearing about it from the cast and watching the trailer, this movie looks awesome. This looks like a total blast. The cast we got here is amazing, especially with Glenn Powell at the lead, who is showing in the past few years that he's one of the most charismatic actors we have right now in Top Gun Maverick, Twisters, and Hitman. He was also terrific in that movie. Please watch that. And we got an excellent supporting cast from Josh Brolin, Coleman Domingo as this larger-than-life host of The Running Man. William H. Macy is briefly in the trailer, and Scott Pilgrim reunion here. Michael Cera back with Edgar Wright. Let's go. Are we liking this renaissance of Michael Cera with Barbie, The Phoenician Scheme he was also a standout in, and now this? I'm all here for it. And also, speaking of Scott Pilgrim, the co-writer of Scott Pilgrim is back for this movie. I'm excited. The production design looks top-notch, the action looks exciting. Edgar Wright did a horror film with Last Night in Soho, so this seems like to be a return with his fast-paced editing style he is known for. And he has said The Running Man is a film he has been wanting to remake, so I can't wait to see his vision here. Edgar Wright has directed so many entertaining movies in his filmography, and I hope this is another fun addition in his filmography. Coming in at number 6 is One Battle After Another. Paul Thomas Anderson is one of my favorite filmmakers. I love so many of his movies. From Boogie Nights, Magnolia, There Will Be Blood, I think is his best film, Punch Drunk Love, The Master is really good, Licorice Pizza. I'm always excited for any new project he is doing. Plus, him and Leonardo DiCaprio finally in a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. That right there is a match made in heaven. And not just Leo, we got a fantastic supporting cast from Sean Penn, who is playing a villain, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall. And I love the cinematography using VistaVision. And I love that The Brutalist recently brought back that widescreen format, so it looks like that format is used excellently here. And this is supposed to be his biggest film to date at a $100 million budget. And already the early reactions hearing that this movie is fantastic makes me even more excited to see this movie coming out in a few weeks, just right at the end of September. Cannot wait. And now we're at the top 5. At number 5, Avatar, Fire and Ash. I still really like the first Avatar film, even if it's not my personal favorite James Cameron film, that would be Terminator 2, but I still love the world building of Pandora and it still leaves me in awe. And I really liked Avatar The Way of Water, even if I did have some issues with it. I felt like there were some scenes that went on for way too long and did hit familiar story beats as the first film, which I hope Fire and Ash doesn't do too much here. Plus, there was more I wanted from certain characters like Spider, so I definitely think there's room for improvement that it could improve here in Fire and Ash, and was excited to see the teaser trailer right before Fantastic Four First Steps, and just when I saw that trailer, wow, this movie looks amazing. From the visuals that are still breathtaking, and there were just some that even made my jaw drop. And it looks like with that technology, it's reaching amazing new heights and the amazing cinematography here. And like I said, I hope the story doesn't repeat the same story beats as the first film. And I was interested with the characters in The Way of Water, but what I see in the trailer, this looks like more of an engaging continuation on story and characters. And I am loving the new addition of the Ash people, the Manquan clan, I believe they're called. And now I've seen the trailer, there is so much I'm excited for in this third Avatar film, from the story, characters, and of course, those gorgeous visuals, which make me stoked to see this movie on the biggest screen and in 3D, to which I normally hate seeing movies in 3Ds, but Avatar movies are always the exception for me. Coming out just a few days before Christmas, hope it's a great Christmas present for me. Coming in at number 4 is The Smashing Machine. The Safdie brothers have really proven to be great indie directors that have certainly made a name for themselves. 2 A24 films, Good Time, and especially Uncut Gems. One of my favorite A24 films, my favorite Sandler performance. And right after Uncut Gems, I was eagerly anticipating to see what the Safdie brothers are going to direct next. But it was announced last year that Benny and Josh Safdie have split up and are pursuing solo projects. Hearing those news, it was disappointing. But I was also open-minded to see how they would find their own voices as filmmakers. And right here with The Smashing Machine, we got just Benny Safdie behind the camera. And in this film, he tells the true story of MMA and UFC champion Mark Kerr, who is played by Dwayne Johnson. And hearing about this movie on my radar got me interested. Dwayne Johnson in an A24 movie with one of the Safdie brothers? Okay, this sounds interesting. And seeing the trailer a few months ago, this movie looks terrific. Not only a great chance for Benny Safdie to shine as a solo director here, but this easily looks like a career best performance for Dwayne Johnson. And I feel like Dwayne Johnson has been kind of playing it safe with his career, doing a lot of action comedies. And I was kind of hoping we would see one dramatic role for Dwayne Johnson to really sink his teeth into and really showing what he's capable of. And this looks like both the perfect film and role to showcase that. Just from his commitment to role to make him look like Mark Kerr, and just the makeup on Dwayne Johnson looks amazing so far. There were parts in the trailer where he was almost unrecognizable, and just looking a little closely, it's like, my god, that is Dwayne. Which I can't really say that for his other performances where he's just being himself. And his voice does seem to be slightly different than his normal voice, just trying to capture the soft-spoken tone of the real-life person. I'm really happy to see Dwayne Johnson getting the biggest opportunity to show all his dramatic capabilities, and just stepping out of his comfort zone and taking a risk here. And right now he's in the conversation for his first Oscar nomination for Best Actor, to which didn't expect Dwayne Johnson, possible Oscar nominee? We'll see. And a supporting role alongside Dwayne Johnson is Emily Blunt, who those two have acted before in the action comedy Jungle Cruise. Whereas that film was fun, this is something more serious, where it does look like they still have that great chemistry. Also that one scene of their argument, and plus, Emily Blunt is a fantastic and versatile actress, so I really think acting alongside her in those dramatic scenes, I think she's gonna bring the best out of Dwayne here. I love the raw and gritty aesthetic of film, almost like a documentary, and I'm interested to see what Benny Safdie does here with telling the story. And hopefully it'll be more than just a standard sports biopic film. And this isn't the only Safdie brothers solo movie on the list. We'll get to the other one later. But for now, I can't wait to see The Smashing Machine this October, and to see a possible career best role from The Rock. Coming in at number 3 is Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. I love both Knives Out and the sequel, Glass Onion. I find the Knives Out movies to be clever, hilarious, and very rewatchable movies. And I really like what Rian Johnson has done with whodunit mystery films. And Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc is just absolutely brilliant. He is so amusing in this role. And Knives Out being his next big franchise after Bond, I'm all here for it. And I'm always excited for any new Knives Out mystery. And with what I'm seeing from Wake Up Dead Man, I can't wait. And I love what I'm seeing so far with the church cemetery setting. It looks more darker than the first movie, and this film being said is the most dangerous case Benoit Blanc has done yet. And that shows with Glass Onion, and what I'm seeing from Wake Up Dead Man so far, how the Knives Out sequels are being distinct from the first Knives Out, which was like a traditional whodunit mystery like Agatha Christie. And I always love the supporting cast Rian Johnson assembles for these Knives Out movies, and this one looks like no exception. We got a fantastic supporting cast here. Josh O'Connor, who was great in Challengers, Josh Brolin, Jeremy Renner, Mila Kunis, Glenn Close, Kaylee Spaney, Kerry Washington, Thomas Hayden Church. Awesome cast we have here that I can't wait to see in this new mystery. I hope this sequel can keep intact everything that worked in the first two movies for this new Knives Out mystery. Coming in at number 2 is Frankenstein from Guillermo del Toro. Let me just say this right now. Guillermo del Toro is making a freaking Frankenstein movie. How are you not excited? If there was one director out there who I would love to see do a new Frankenstein story, you bet I would absolutely say Guillermo del frickin' Toro. Just how much of a visionary filmmaker Del Toro is when it comes to creating scope with sets, costumes, creature design, makeup, cinematography. He is just absolutely phenomenal in all of those technical aspects. He has proven that with the Hellboy movies. His best film, Pan's Labyrinth, The Shape of Water, Nightmare Alley, I think is an underrated gem from him, and his retelling of Pinocchio was phenomenal. And the cast in Frankenstein is terrific, from Oscar Isaac playing Victor Frankenstein. Mia Goth is also in this movie, and so is Christoph Waltz. And we got Jacob Elordi, who is playing Frankenstein's monster, who is almost unrecognizable in the trailer. I was like, oh yeah, that is him. I wonder if it's going to be almost like Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok in Nosferatu last year. And just at the end of the trailer where he was on the boat and he says, Victor, and I was like, ooh, I got goosebumps there. And speaking of which, that teaser trailer was amazing, got me hyped. If Guillermo del Toro can do an incredible retelling of Pinocchio, there is no doubt I think he's going to knock it out of the park with Frankenstein. And finally, that takes me to my number 1. Let's get to it. My most anticipated film for the rest of the year is Marty Supreme. And ending our list is our second solo Safdie brother film for 2025. and I'll give you 3 reasons to why I'm excited for this movie. 1, the Safdie brothers. I mentioned earlier, I love both of them as directors. Again, was disappointed about their split, but I was optimistic about their solo projects hearing about them. Number 2, Timothée Chalamet. I think he has proven over the past few years to be an incredible young actor. He always brings something exciting to every role and showing his versatility, whether that's Call Me By Your Name, the Dune films, Wonka, A Complete Unknown. And this movie looks like no exception. And also, A24, a studio I love. And the teaser trailer that came out recently, this movie looks fantastic. And also, both Safdie brothers solo films are sports dramas from A24. And this is a sports drama about a ping pong player named Marty Reisman going to hell and back to pursue greatness. And this film looks gorgeous on 35mm film, maintaining that gritty aesthetic the Safdie brothers are known for. And hearing this is A24's most expensive movie to date at $70 million and showing their confidence in this movie and it's surpassing Civil War. Chalamet has been nominated for 2 Best Actor nominations for Call Me By Your Name and Complete Unknown. I think he looks incredible in this movie and could secure him a 3rd Oscar nomination. If not a win, we shall see. And we got a great supporting cast, and the Safdie brothers have made out there casting choices that no one would expect. We got Gwyneth Paltrow in this movie, and the last big movie she was in that's not Marvel, I believe it was like a decade ago, I think it was, Mordecai. But hopefully this will be your best role in a long time. And we also got Tyler, the Creator, making his acting debut. And Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank has a supporting role in this. And knowing the Safdie brothers can get phenomenal performances out of their actors. Good Time was Robert Pattinson's best performance until The Lighthouse. Uncut Gems is still Adam Sandler's best performance. So we shall see if Benny Safdie can get a career best performance out of The Rock. And Josh Safdie could maybe get one of, if not Chalamet's best performance here. And the teaser trailer did a terrific job of selling enough to me without showing too much. I'm curious to see if it will be distinct from other sports dramas. And I do see some hints in the trailer if it could have that Uncut Gems anxiety-inducing tension to which, we shall see here. Everything I've been seeing from this movie gets me so stoked to see this movie. And it's the movie I'm most excited for the rest of the year. And coming out on Christmas too, so awesome little Christmas present for me. And those are my picks for my most anticipated films for the rest of 2025. So many great looking movies that are coming out that I can't wait to see. And hopefully they live up to the hype. So I would like to hear from you guys. What are your most anticipated films for the rest of 2025? Top 10, top 5, number 1 pick? Let me know in the comments below. Did you enjoy this top 10 list and want to see more videos like this in the future? If yes, please hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here, and don't forget that notification bell for my next upload in the future. It really means a lot. My social media links will be in the description down below. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you'd like to see my written reviews, I do have a letterbox, so if you'd like to follow me on there as well. And until the next video, I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another movie review.